Welcome back to Snakes and Rats. Today I'd like to talk about feeding ball pythons. Not necessarily the feeding process, but size of their meals. You're going to find all kind of things out there. I can't honestly say one is right, one is wrong, unless it is extremely obvious. What I can tell you is what I've gone through, what I found works, and what a large majority of people even like doing and works for them. When I first started out, I did a lot of research on it, and the information I was getting all sounded great. A lot of it all seemed about the same, so I went with it. Most people will tell you feed them once every 5 days. Then you'll find things that, okay, that's okay if you're breeding them. If you're not, do it every 7 days. As they get a certain size, switch over to every 2 weeks. And to be honest with you, that may work for a lot of people. What I like doing is letting the snake itself tell me when it wants to eat and how often. I found out that usually smaller ones will want to eat more often. Feeding once a week, I never fed them more than that they're happy with it. They'll take them. They'll keep eating. As long as you keep feeding them once a week, they're good. Once they start putting on a lot of weight and getting bigger, you may see them wanting to slow down and not eat as much. And that's fine. They're an animal. They're a living thing, just like any other animal out there, and even humans. We go through spells where, we may not want to eat much or skip a meal. And this is all normal. What I found out was if I try feeding it every week and it looks like it's skipping meals quite often, I'll actually cut back to every 2 weeks. If it seems like it's going to eat every 2 weeks at that point, then I realize that, hey, that's the eating habits this snake wants to do at the time. You can get them all on the same routine if they're all about the same age or the same size. You can do groups. If you have small ones, you can do them weekly. The other batch you have that are larger, you can do every 2 weeks. This way you keep it straight, you know what's going on. I don't like numbers as far as people will say, if they're this size or this old, they need to eat this often or this much. I don't buy it. I never really bought it. I did follow it first because I had really nothing else to go on until I started experimenting and finding out for myself that what actually works. And that's listening to the snake. A lot of other people I found out have given the same advice I'm giving. Over time, they realized that, you may be able to get them to eat weekly, but they're skipping meals quite often. If that's the case, they probably don't want it weekly. Switch to every 2 weeks. Size of their food. This one gets tricky. What I tell everyone and what I started out with was until you know that individual snake, you're really not going to know what size to feed it. Rule of thumb to this day, and always has been, the thickest part of the snake and a little bit bigger is the size meal you want to feed it. I did that. It seemed doing that, they didn't want to eat as often. They really didn't have to because they were getting more food in them. But it was also hard to keep track of what's going on. Are they not eating this time because they had a big meal? Or are they just skipping it because it's them skipping it? Ball pythons and then go on hunger strikes. It could go anywhere from a week to a year. Some say even longer. My experience was I had 2 that went on long strikes. One was 6 months, and after 6 months, it just started taking them down again. More recently, I had one that went a year. It did lose a lot of weight. It was healthy. It was moving. If you handled it, it acted just normal, just like every other snake. and there was nothing wrong with it physically. It just did not want to eat. I've got my suspicions on why. It's something I'm still working on. I did get to start eating again by finding some advice that it wasn't online. It's the only advice I heard from one person give, and I thought, I have nothing to lose. I need to try it to get this thing eating again because it's lost a lot of its weight. And it actually worked. I'm still waiting to get long-term information on it to see what happens, to see if I need to continue doing what I need to do to get to eat, or if it's just going to continue eating on its own. I don't know if it's going to stop eating down the future, and I have to do it again, or what's going on. So I really don't want to give too much information on what I did there, because I don't have enough to say, hey, this works, definitely do it. I don't want to do that. Maybe here soon I will let you know what's going on and if it worked and what I'm currently doing with it, to give you an update and hopefully pass on some more information. But this was a rare video I found online that it was the only one that talked about it. And like I said, in my case, I got to the point where it's lost at least half its weight, and I felt I needed to step in and do more than just wait. That information will come later, I promise. I would like everyone to know, especially if it works. I'd like to get this information out there to more people. Might even try doing it on some of my finicky eaters to see if we get back on track and eating. But I will update you on that down the road. Another thing people will tell you about feeders is depending on what your snake weighs will depend on what size feed to give it. I don't go by that anymore. Again, when I was a newbie, I did. I had nothing else to go by because it's what most people are talking about. I think people find something works for them, they stick with it. They don't change it no matter what. I didn't have a problem changing my ways. You know, it's an animal, it's a living thing. It's going to let me know what's happening. The problem I found with going by weight was, you know, if I've got a snake that should eat a rat that's 150 grams, according to the chart and what people are saying, I found out that it was too much for it. It was skipping a lot of meals, or it was putting on weight way too fast. Both things I didn't like and really aren't healthy. So I started giving smaller meals and judging how they act by that. I found out giving, let's say instead of a 150 gram rat, I would give it 110, 120 grams. It's not a big difference. You know, nutrition wise, I don't know what the difference would be with it, but it did help. I know that now when I feed, instead of feeding them large or larger size mediums because they're a bigger snake, that's what I should be doing, and they will still eat it. I found out that when I cut that size down and cut it down to every 2 weeks, they acted normal. They ate every week for me. I can open up a bin. I can take it out. It's not striking. It's not thinking it's going to be fed and looking for food. And some of them don't even attack right away when I put them in by doing that. You know, it takes a few minutes, which all those signs point to me as saying this is working. None of them are underweight. They're all gaining constantly. None of them are overweight, and they are on a regular schedule. So feeding, you're going to get a variety of answers. This is just what worked for me. This is my experience. Some things I tried, advice people gave me that I put together, and don't get worried about it. Don't let it bother you. Don't get fixed that this person said it should eat this often in this size. That's not the case. Just think of any other animal or any other human, including yourself, that, yeah, you like skipping meals. Yeah, you want a smaller meal. Yeah, you want a bigger meal. But you find a routine that works, that keeps you going, and you got to do the same with your animals. That's about it. Yeah, I don't want to drag it out too long, and I'm finding I'm repeating myself over and over again. But yeah, do what works best for you. Try different things. Skipping a meal or two for a ball python is nothing. You skipping it for them isn't going to bother them. They'll survive just fine. So you could experiment. If you are doing every week and wondering if I could kick back to every 2 weeks because they are being finicky at times, try it. Skip the next meal, feed them the following one. Skip another meal, feed them again. And if they're eating constantly then you know that was a fix for it. So good luck. If you have any questions, let me know. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.